In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate our first Java program, how to go about creating the program, and then various parts of the program. So we'll talk about what a class is, what a method is. I'm going to explain the concept that we learned in the previous lesson, how actually we can apply it within the program. So let's jump right in. Let me open the Java editor. So let's begin our first line of code. I'm going to start off with placing a comment within this Java program. So in order to place a comment, we use the / and then the asterisk. I'm going to call it hello world.java. That's just the name of the program. And this is our first Java program. To close the comment, we again use the asterisk and then the /. This tells Java that skip these lines because these lines do not provide any instruction as to what to do. In other words, these are just comments, and you can place anything just for your own reference, or as you build programs or longer programs, these comments are helpful. So next we will start with our public class called hello world. Once we have the public class called hello world, let's do the curly braces, and next I'm going to set the properties. So let's say public, static, void, and I'll explain what these are in just a minute. Main, and then our string, our array goes in here, and then our arguments. Instead of curly braces, one more time, and next I'm going to do the printout. In other words, I'm going to tell Java to print. So it'll be system.out.print. And the good thing about these editors, as you'll notice as I type, it brings up a box and an explanation as to various options that I can use, such as with print I can use the string x, I can use the function, I can use the boolean, I can use the character, double, float, and so on. So it allows me to choose whether to print as a string. If the argument is null, for example, then the string null is printed. So after print, I'm going to open up and tell Java what to print. So I'm going to say hello world, Java is awesome, and make sure my quotations are closed, start parentheses, and I need a semicolon at the end as well. So this is a complete simple program, in fact, that is going to print hello world, Java is awesome when I run this program. So let me run this program and then I'll get back to explaining what we actually did. So let me go ahead and click on the run hello world from the toolbar here. As soon as I click on it, Java brings up the save and launch dialog box. Here's the name hello world.java. And recall, one of the rules was that you must have the declaration rules, if you recall from the previous lesson, that hello world.java needs to be saved in this format. So let's click OK. And on the bottom in the console, you'll notice it'll print out hello world, Java is awesome. So great. We did our first Java program. Now let me explain what we just did, in fact. So first you'll notice that there are certain tabs that I used, right? So I used tabs here. I used the curly braces in a different line, for example. So what are the Java's rules regarding tabs, spaces, or new line characters? Really, there are not many. Java compilers treat them all to be equivalent. So for example, if I were to place these in one line, it will still give me the output. The reason we use this to adhere to the spacing and indenting conventions that we use when we write Java programs. And what do we mean by the words public, static, and void within this program? So these are simply keywords that specify certain properties of the main function. We will take a look at what that main function is a little later, but for right now, this main is being defined by these three properties called public, static, and void. And of course, you're probably thinking at this point that what do we mean by static? Static simply means that main function doesn't belong to a specific object. Void, on the other hand, means that the main function returns no value. Main is the name of a function, main function, especially because it is the start of the program. And then the string means an array of strings. The arguments, we can have additional arguments within this. Of course, if we were to have just one argument, we'll just say args. If it was 0, 1, 2, 3, you can have multiple arguments, but this is the command line argument for Java. The sysoutprint is simply telling Java to print the stream, which is hello world, Java is awesome. And this is the standard output stream. So this way you can create a program. Now, of course, if I were to change the text, for instance, add something to this. So hello world, Java is awesome. I love learning Java. And simply run the program again. Save and launch dialog box appears. Simply click OK. And notice the output says, hello world, Java is awesome. I love learning Java. Of course, I need to correct the spellings here. Perfect. Let's run it again. Click OK. And there we go. So practice writing a small program, just understanding the different ways, experiment with this, for instance. That way you'll get more familiar with the editor as well as the concept of the program itself. So I hope this helps practice, and let's move to the next lesson.